What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Cork to Glory. This is episode number 55. And we start today's episode by seeing that one of our youth players has been sold. That's Rooney. He'll go in the summer window. The unfortunate thing is that he'll still be part of our squad until the summer, which means that whilst he is going to join another club for next season, he's still here for the remainder of this season, and therefore our squad remains full at 52. So we still can't promote a youth player. Fingers crossed, touch wood, no one gets unsettled and wants to terminate their contract before next season. Still, for the first game of today's episode, on the back of the win against Fulham in the last game, in the last episode, this was one of the biggest games of the series. Newcastle United, St James's Park, FA Cup quarter-final. Never been to this stage before. Finally got over the hurdle of the last 16 after being knocked out 3 consecutive times. Now away against the Magpies in the top 10 this season and doing really well. We take the lead very early on through Samuel Bell, and in 5 minutes after the restart, I wanted an early goal in the second half to give me some breathing room and give me a cushion, and Eamon Cunningham, what a cheeky chip there from our number 8 as he fires in our second goal. So leading by 2 with Inter and Tumba make an amazing save 12 minutes later to keep us up by 2 goals, and then this is a cracking end-to-end sequence here as we look for a goal on the counter to extend the lead to 3. Bell going through one-on-one, excellent save by Carl Darling, but as Troy Parrott keeps the chance alive, brilliant footwork from our number 7 and the finish to match. And how good has Troy Parrott been this season? The ex-Bayern Munich and Spurs striker makes it 3, and that would confirm it. Cork City are heading to Wembley for the first time in the save, whilst the Magpies will grab a consolation goal after this header deflected off Rory Keane and into the back of the net. We get the job done and we are there. Yes, book your ticket, save the date, because Cork City for the first time in the save are heading to Wembley. Absolutely delighted. This year I wanted to get to the quarter-final. We did that, and now we go one step further, going to the final four. Buzzing, absolutely buzzing. So as I finished with my little post-match interview here, we go and find out who will be taken on at Wembley for the first time in the save in the FA Cup semi-final, and Cork City have got Wolves at Wembley. Man City vs West Ham is the other tie, so we managed to avoid Guardiola's side, which is what I really wanted. They'll be taking on Moyes' boys. We've got Nuno's side in the semi-finals, but like Newcastle United, they knocked out one of the top 6 boys. You remember, the Magpies knocked out Liverpool and Wolves knocked out Manchester United. So as you look at the table here, as you can see, 9 games to go with 4 points clear of Man City, and Spurs heading into a massive game here against Pep Guardiola's side, where really they need to win this game, being 4 points behind right now with just 9 games remaining. And on the back of the high there, reaching the FA Cup semi-final for the first time in the save. Absolutely buzzing about that, but unfortunately against Guardiola's side, desperate to at least get a point, and 3 would be massive here. Last year's Golden Boot winner and player of the tournament, Gabriel Jesus, fires the visitors into a lead in the first half. Struggled to break down their rock-solid defence, no real surprises there, but got a golden chance right before the break, and it fell to the right man, but he miskicked the ball. Could you believe it? Bell sent through one-on-one. And was there a shove from Angelino? I don't think so. I think Bell just lost his balance there, and in the end a 1-0 defeat as Man City cut the gap to 1 with 8 games to go. Look, we're 12 points behind Chelsea. We're not going to catch them. Liverpool are 8 points in front of us, and they've got the game in hand as well. With the gap now being 1 on Manchester City, 8 games to go. Starting to feel the real pressure now. Yes, we've reached the FA Cup semi-final. Fantastic achievement there. But let's be honest here. I want Champions League football, man. I would have taken Europa League football at the start of the season, but now, since we've been in the top 4 all campaign long, if we miss out on the grand prize of Champions League football, I'll be absolutely devastated. So following that, as you could see, we'd enter April here, and we did have an academy update where, as you could see, 2 youth players are unsettled, and I talked about this all season long. This was my worst fear, man. We've got a golden generation of youngsters in our academy, but 2 of them are unsettled and 2 of them want to terminate their contracts. As you see, our fixtures here in April, 2 massive games to start off with. Manchester United at home and Spurs away. That FA Cup semi-final is going to be the final game of the month. But yeah, this is what I was afraid of, man, because of the senior squad being full right now. Youth players getting unsettled. When a youth player gets unsettled, they'll always leave like a week or 2 after their unsettled email. So yeah, seems they're going to miss 2 of those players now. I'm glad we got one of them out of the academy, who I think was the best one, Chris Hegarty, with the potential to be special, but Man, this is gutting. I can see every one of those youth players leaving our academy, and this is why I've not been doing youth scouting this year, because I don't want more players to get unsettled when we've not got enough room in our senior squad to give them pro deals. So, yeah, unfortunately, looks like we're going to lose the bulk of the golden generation. Nothing we can do about it, though. Still, for the third game of today's episode and the first one of April, this would be a massive one. We just got beat by the Sky Blues, now taking on the Red Devils. Manchester United at Turner's Cross. Haven't beaten them in this series so far, I believe. And on the back of the defeat, we needed to return to winning ways. Failed to win this game, and we'd probably drop out of the top four. So early on to the game, we saw some nerves settled as Samuel Bell scores once again and gives us the lead. And then 5 minutes after the restart, well, this was just so frustrating. You know those games where you come up against a goalkeeper that literally turns into prime Levyushin? I mean, seriously, literally could not score a second goal in this game. I was dominating from start to finish, but unfortunately came up against a goalkeeper who I swear had goalkeeper ability slider up to 100 in this game. I just could not beat him. Some resilient defending from the Red Devils in this game kept the score at 1-0, kept themselves in the game, but thankfully in the end, some solid defending ourselves mean we get back to winning ways with a massive win. 1-0 the final score there. And Lord knows we needed that, otherwise we would have dropped to 5th place. We have lost those two youth players though, unfortunately. McGarry and Casey McDowell have both decided to leave us. Gutted, absolutely gutted. I said it was probably going to happen at some point, no, so I was prepared for it. Unfortunately, I just couldn't sell any players other than Ollie Nicholson in the January window to make some space for the new boys. And I really hope EA changed this as well. You know, you can only release 2 senior players a season. I don't like that. Like, why are you capped at 2? Like, why? I literally, like, can't figure out why that is. Why can you only release 2 players a season? It makes literally no sense to me. That's not a realism thing, that's just really strange. I don't know if it's to make it challenging for moments like this, but either way, it's really frustrating. We've lost 2 of the golden generation there due to these release players restrictions from EA. And so for the 4th game of today's episode, we just beat the Red Devils, now travelling to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to take on Jose Mourinho. We led through Eamon Cunningham, and in the second half as well, there are some games where Cunningham just shows that he's one of the best players in the league, let alone the team, man. Cunningham is so good. I don't think I'll really, you know, not necessarily showcase what he can do for this team, because he's always getting assists and the goals every now and then as well, but I don't talk about him as much as I do with like the likes of Bell. But Cunningham is so bloody good. He's so tricky, he's so skillful, and again, despite mostly being known for assists, he can score when we need him to, and he's one of those players that comes good in big games as well. Certainly did there, score both our goals, and whilst Harry Kane would come off the bench to score late on and grab a consolation for Spurs, we held on for back-to-back scalps and back-to-back victories. It's official now. Cork City are a big team. It's only our 2nd year in the Premier League, but we are a big side now. We are good enough to break up the top 6 and stay in the top 4 as well. Back-to-back wins, what a way to start April, and what a response on the back of the defeat to Man City as well. So for the 5th game of this episode, returning back to Turner's Cross here, Leicester City coming to take us on as we would face Brendan Rodgers' side. I just mentioned a moment ago there, Cunningham so good. Not normally known for the goals, but the assists, and he gets one here as well as he rolls the ball through to Samuel Bell. 12 minutes in, early start. Bell, we know now he's not going to hit 40, but could still hit 30, and he's still going for the golden boot. And then 6 minutes later, a chance to make it 2. Troy Parrott steps in from the left and cannons one off the woodwork as it's still 1-0. Parrott this year as well, he has been so impressive, so much better than last season. 31 minutes in, still leading by a goal. Really, it was all Cork from the first whistle though. I felt for sure we'd get the second goal at some point, and as Bell finds Tommy Healy, this is a really good finish from Tommy as well. I definitely feel as though the inside forwards this year have had a much bigger presence in our team and had a lot more involvement in goals and assists as well. I don't think that's just me. Parrott certainly scored a lot more than the 4 he got last year, and I do feel like Healy scored a few more this season as well. That's another one for Tommy as he makes it 2-0 to Cork City. And in the second half, 8 minutes after the restart in a game where we were dominated from start to finish, I wanted more goals, I wanted to make a statement, and Bell going for that golden boot gets his 2nd of the game. Lovely cross by Barry Sharkey. His sort of like floated crosses are so accurate. Brilliant ball, perfect trajectory, perfect distance, perfect speed, and Bell puts the finishing touch on the through ball. So 3 in the final score, Bell with a brace and Healy with 1 as well. As we know, 40 goals now, it's not going to happen. He needs 14 in 5. I'm not going to be able to pull it off. But for Cork City, after a nice run of 3 wins on the trot, we're up to 3rd place. We leapfrog Liverpool on goal difference and now go 5 points clear of Spurs and 6 clear of Man City and Arsenal, and we have games in hand on the North London teams as well. If we win 4 of our remaining 5, that will do it. We will guarantee Champions League football. But that will end today's episode of Court to Glory, guys. So big thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. There are just 2 episodes remaining. We've got the penultimate episode of Season 6 coming out tomorrow morning. And then the season finale out tomorrow evening as well, as we go for a place in the FA Cup final and Champions League as well. Very soon.